welcome to YourPedia and this is Shabhya. So this video is for all the ones who are preparing for CGPDTM. Now here in this video I've brought some of the analysis like what were the questions that were asked in the preliminary which took place on 3rd of September. Now that examination, that pre got cancelled due to multiple reasons and the new date is going to be announced very soon. But we need to keep into our mind some of the strategies and some of the help which the questions, what kind of questions were there in the pre. You understand, like last year the pattern, there were 30 questions approximately, and they had different kind of the questions were from spotting errors, the questions were from fill in the blanks, vocabulary, jumbled sentences. So every time the examiner tries to bring something new for you, and this you saw in the your pre also analysis, right? So I have heard one thing which was very, you can say, from the students' feedback was that the vocabulary was very tough because in a single day or two or in a passage of time, all the vocabulary you cannot acquire. That is very true. The way you have is now you have some of the time, some or more time you got, and you understood like out of 15, if you are getting scoring really good, vocabulary is going to play a very important role. I'll discuss with you all the tricks and strategies and what were the questions in the pre. Now before that, let's give a quick analysis. Like you remember your pre was on 3rd of September and your mains was scheduled to be on 1st of October. There was an approximate gap of 1 month. Similar is going to be happening in the future also, where you are going to get a gap of 1 month only. Now many of you were there, ma'am, spotting error se to koi question hi nahi aaya. There were some questions from that category, but you have to visualize yourself. Some of the questions which were not asked in pre, they could be asked in the mains, and vice versa happens in this situation because that is the only format. Non-preliminary, if you count it out, that you are going to get 30 days for the future also. You have to target yourself in that aspect, that where you are balancing yourself and preparing equally for the pre also and mains also. So 30 days gaps approximately is going to happen. Already you're aware about the weightage. Weightage section is where English is going to come in pre for 15 marks and in mains it's going to be for 20 marks. So it's 10% in the pre and 20% in the mains. Now, what were the questions? Like I got from the feedback of the students that approximately you got 6 questions from vocabulary. So true is the fact that last year also there were approximately 8 questions from the vocabulary. They reduced it out to 6 questions. So a good number. Now how to remember vocabulary, that is some skills that you require. First, it can be through root words like breaking the word. Second is using some of the smart tricks. If the word happens starting from D, un, mostly the cases are that they connotate to some negative meaning. So whenever you have a word, you have to understand, does it give me negative meaning, does it give me positive meaning, and you have to eliminate the unknown ones. Third is a trick when you try to have an explicit reading, like go for the explicit reading of the vocabulary words, and there what you can do is you just have to note down. It's not that you can remember all the words in one go, that would not happen, and that is true fact. You have to visualize yourself, like suppose you read 50 to 100 words, just an explicit reading, and then you have to note it down like anything. You have to note down the words once, and if you have noted it down from your side, some of the words eventually goes to your subconsciousness. Do remember the rule 1-3, that is whatever you learn or read on the day 1, do practice on day 3, then only those things get retained in your mind, otherwise you lose that things, right? And last but not the least, try to use these words in your everyday vocals. Like if I go for the words like zany or zilch or abominable, or there was a word that was above. If you do not use in your everyday slang, like all of you are very active on social media, try to portray one of the words, adjectives, what are the words, try to portray, or you can say put in the comments, drop in the comments pictures of your friends. This is a strategy where you actually start learning some of the vocabulary words. So start it from today. If you are not doing these tricks, this is going to help you out. And last but not the least, do remember mnemonics also helps you a lot. Like suppose a word was abhor. I get bored from someone and that is why I hate someone. So some of the tricks that you need to remember, and this is a mnemonic strategy. So multiple ways to remember vocabulary. Go for the vocabulary, start preparing your vocabulary very nicely. So second was your fill in the blanks, and fill in the blanks also gave you 3 to 4 questions. Now as I already told you, some of the questions varied from the last run to this run because the weightage, or you can say the number of questions reduced 30 to 15, 14. You already are aware how much the gap is, and fill in the blanks is 3 to 4. Here in the fill in the blanks, what you need to know is that you need a mastery in parts of speech. It's not being a master or training to the toughest level, but actually what is noun, what is pronoun, what is article, what are the type of articles, what are the prepositions, prepositions, conjunctions, everything should be clear in your head in one go. Okay, what were the parts of speech? If I name a parts of speech, it should clear what was the rules of those parts of speech also. To put it in the fill in the blanks, do I need singular, plural? Do I need, what kind of a verbs should I need? So fill in the blanks is one very important aspect to check your basic grammatical skills, and that is being asked in every paper. So go ready for with your all the parts of speech. Now, jumbled sentences, last time it was approximately 4 to 5 and this time it came 2 in number. Now, jumbled sentences is a very easy one, but what it requires or what it does is it consumes your time, because you are just going with the flow, you are reading every statement, you are going with every options and then you are eliminating it out. That's not the way. Whenever you have a statement, try to read the very first statement if it is given, or go with the very first noun. Choose in the brackets which is a noun, then go for the verb, then in the object, start choosing it like that. Last week we had a discussion in the classes also, like how we need to do the jumbled sentences, and there we first forecasted about the noun, then we took like Ram is a good boy, who dash. Now, Ram is already a noun, is given, verb is given. Now, one sentence is completed. Now, you need an object with it. Object means again a noun is needed. So, you have to check it a noun in the jumbled sentences and then you have to put it in that frame. So, this is a skills that requires practice in your jumbled sentences. Next is your one question was there, choosing a correct helping verb or the verb. Same. Comes in the parts of speech section also, the auxiliary verbs, verbs, helping verbs, which is a verb which is correct. So there also they are asking not very tough topics, but a good topic, good questions from these simple topics. That is the only strategy they are adopting for. Now, what is this time? You have to follow it out the way I told you. Start from today and you have to write it down, pen down your notes, like go for the very small words, Z, Y, W, they have very less words. You always open your dictionaries and you start with A alphabet. That has a maximum number and you get bored with the passage of time. So that should not be the criteria only. Start with the backwards. If you are just, you have 26 alphabets. Try in this way, like you are just memorizing or you are just going for an explicit reading, one word a day. Right. Next you have is go for all the parts of speech revision. That is very much important. Balance your pre and mains together. Like some of the topics, suppose many of you had a doubt, like spotting errors did not come. It's okay. It might come in the mains because that is a tricky one. You are preparing yourself for the future. Nothing bad in it. Acquiring the skill set, acquiring the vocabulary, that is genuinely going to help you, be it any paper, be it any questions. Pre and mains are going to be different. So you cannot just assure that if this question was not asked in today's pre, it won't ever be asked. Train yourself in that aspect where you're able to balance it out. Go for a fixed revision, like practice lots of jumbled sentences that would not consume your much time. 15 marks, 20 marks, it's going to be a game where English you can score to the fullest also, but what it requires is your good skills. So remember, start preparing your vocabulary, parts of speech, jumbled sentences, all the spotting errors, do not forget those also. And last but not the least, have a quick conceptualizations. Go for the concepts and practice. Just go for the practicing of the questions and it's going to help you out a lot. So all the best, keep preparing with a positive mindset and eventually you are going to crack it down. But last my line is going to be balance between pre and mains. Start with the longer target that yes, I have to clear my mains, eventually your pre will automatically get, you can say, it will be done. So all the best guys and hoping for the best for your future. Take care.